So a thing I discovered after many, many, many runs, this battle is almost exclusively RNG reliant. Any run that has Amy show up, like this run for example, will always be infinitely more successful than any run that does not. I had Amy show up like 3 times. And now, because of her, I'm able to bring this to an end. I see some of the complaints online. I will say, I don't think it applies to every boss in the game, but I will say the final Eggman, the final battle with Knack, and the true last story boss are very, very annoying because of their enormous invincibility periods. It makes it for a very unfun boss experience where they dictate the entire pace, and worse than that, Supersonic's on a timeline. So that was way more frustrating than it should have been for a game that I actually found incredibly fun in all other respects. Who drew those? Was that Trip? Alright, final credit roll time, guys. I can really go fast now. We're using the final boss supersonic mechanics. Alright, I can work with that. I will say, final bosses, super unfun. Very much like a Realm Reborn boss for those who play Final Fantasy XIV. Way too much waiting. For a game all about going fast, that feels like a huge misstep. Now, on the whole, I really do like this game. The levels I thought were really good. I felt like the gameplay was engaging, and I think people generally are way too hard on it. But having gone through those last couple of final bosses, yeah, okay, I get it. I see where the frustration comes from now. I understand. So, yeah, okay, your frustration is felt and heard. I understand now. I will say, on the whole, I had fun, and I enjoyed this, and with the benefit of, local co-op, I bet it would be even better, especially because, you unlock Trip in story mode, so you can play, the regular, less hard versions of the stages with her now, and you can make, parties out of any 4 characters you want out of the 5, and that's really cool. I like that. I do have to eat a little bit of what I said early on about, oh, I don't get why they're so hard. I get it. It's those 3 bosses that taught me why. Honestly, a lot of this game's flaws are the flaws that are universal to 2D Sonic. Not being able to see ahead of me, so I constantly run headlong into traps. There are a lot of traps, especially in Trip's mode. But that does seem to be by design, because her mode is supposed to be more challenging. I'm really glad I actually got the Chaos Emeralds in story mode before I got Trip. Specifically so that I would have them at my disposal, because I think that made her story way less frustrating. And a lot more fun, honestly. There are certain stages that are definitely not built with Super in mind. The Sky Temple one, for instance, I think was not built with that in mind because of that 2D foreground-background transition. That being said, on the whole, I stick with what I said. I'm sticking with it. Favorite 2D Sonic game. Yeah, I placed it above Mania. I placed it above 3. I placed it above and Knuckles. Whatever one you swear up and down is the best of the best. What have you. I don't know, and maybe your argument is perfectly valid, but counterpoint, I got to play an adorable lizard girl who transforms into a fire-breathing dragon. Your argument isn't valid. I feel like there could have been... There should have been more polish. Most of the boss fights I actually found were very fun and engaging, and certain characters could play a lot more aggressively. The one in the water park level, Tails can really go nuts on him because he's supposed to be hovering out of reach, but Tails can definitely reach him. So I think Tails being able to go nuts on him is really interesting. It gives an edge to the people who are playing Tails in that mission. So they're kind of like, you can kind of custom tailor the play style to which character you think will excel in the stage. That being said, having played through the entire game and finally finished the last story, I wish there was a little more actual story. Like, there was not a whole lot. Like, you chase Eggman, you chase Snek, but like the dragon thing, you don't even know about that unless you watch the cartoon first. Seems like a bit of a messed up to not have the story of your game in your game. So, whoops. I ran into a few bugs. I kind of wish the QA testing had been a little bit more comprehensive. And yeah, again, those three bosses, Eggman, Mecha Knack, and the Black Dragon, those should have been severely retooled to be, like, way less frustrating. A lot of the advantages they had were just cheap. Like, they had instant death powers, or they had, the ability to just run the clock down in the Black Dragon's case, because Supersonic is on a timer. But that shouldn't be weaponized. That should incentivize the player to act quickly. That's how it is with, like, Final Hazard in Sonic Adventure 2, or Metal Emperor in Sonic Heroes. You're incentivized to act quickly because your rings are draining away, but the fight facilitates a very brisk pace. So if you know what you're doing and have had a little practice, like, you're not in danger of running out of time. In this one, the boss sits in an invincible state way, way, way too much. And that is frustrating. I understand what people were talking about now. Most of the bosses in the game I thought were fun. I actually liked most of the bosses, even the ones that I had trouble with. That said, B+, I had so much fun with this. And I thought this was really fun. I'm probably never going to play the last story again. It's not going to be like Final Hazard, where I actually I enjoy playing that, or Perfect Chaos, who are really fun fights. I'll probably skip out on that, but I would happily redo Trip's Journey, or the story mode in particular, and just kind of revisit this game from time to time as it's like a fun pseudo nostalgia kind of experience, maybe. So I'm going to be honest, because I have time to kind of start burning some bridges, and my analytics say no one's watching by now anyway. Sonic 1 was not really a very good game. Like, have you guys, like, played that one recently? It's really not good. Sonic 2, I feel, is, like, super, super overrated. Yeah, like, it established some things that would become regular for Sonic, but the level design is so bad. Sonic 3 deserves the praise it gets, both from a technical and a gameplay standpoint. The fact that they made, like, Sonic and Knuckles, which was supposed to be, like, the second half of Sonic 3, into its own game cartridge, that you could, like, connect the cartridges together to combine their power, like, that's actually pretty brilliant. I gotta hand it to Sega. But on the whole, like I said before, 2D Sonic suffers very familiar flaws. And honestly, they're flaws that are very frustrating, and I didn't have Sonic growing up. I had a Nintendo console. From like 91 going forward. I had like Super Nintendo, then like the PS1, I had a Dreamcast, but I missed out completely on like the Sonic games on the Master System or the Sega Genesis. I had friends who had Sega Genesis, and my cousin had one, and Sonic was one of those go-to games for us, of course. But revisit some of those games, and maybe I think you might appreciate this one all the more for it. If you don't like it, that's fine. Maybe I was just able to find something that you couldn't, or you're able to find something in the older Sonics that I couldn't. There's a lot of that. The saying, there's no accounting for taste, goes back to at least Mesopotamia. So, I like this one. Of the classic Sonic era, final word on the matter, Of the classic Sonic-style games, the 2D Sonic games, this one's my favorite, and Trip is probably my favorite character. Uh, of the 3D Sonic games, I think that's still going to be Sonic Adventure 2 and Big the Cat, respectively. This Big the Cat is just great, and he deserves so much more love. If that Sonic Party game, I forgot what it's called, Sonic Rumble or something, the one that kind of has like the Fall Guys vibe to it that keeps getting delayed over and over again. If that comes out and Trip is playable, I'm maining her. I'm just saying. I want Trip in Sonic Rumble. Snek 2025. But having done everything, yeah, the complaints, some of the criticism is entirely valid, and I do understand. So don't feel like I'm just writing you off. I think I understand a whole lot better now what you guys were complaining about. I do think that on the whole it's overhyped. I think the negatives for this game were really over-exaggerated. I looked up a guide for that last leg of the dragon fight, the part that turns into a rhythm timing minigame, because, I mean, Frontiers did it, because, I don't know, someone on Sonic Team really likes Yoko Taro. And there were a lot of people like, the physics suck, and this. I was like, no, they really don't, actually. This is probably the tightest and most competent experience I would expect from 2D Sonic. But go ahead and go to the comments now and roast me, and tell me how I've jumped the shark now that I've said that. Oh, the fireworks are Sonic and his friends. That's cute. I did better with Trip, but I was able to use the Avatar Emerald for that. Okay, I think, now that I have done that, we should now actually have everything done. Yes, okay! Okay, I can safely say we have done everything. I'm not going to worry about time attack or battle mode. I'll play that on my own time. Thank you guys for sitting with me and allowing me to trash talk your childhood nostalgia the entire way through. B+. Final word on the matter. This has been the Hipster Snek, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.